Where's your devotion? Where's your devotion? Deep as the ocean.
Hi Aquarius, welcome to Maddie Tarot. I'm Maddie, and today we're going to be doing a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements for December 16th through the 31st, 2022. So here's your spread. What does Aquarius need to know? What does Aquarius need to know? Alrighty, so let's take a... Oh, we're going to start with your crystal card, sorry. Alright, so you got kyanite. A very special stone that retains no negative energy and never requires a cleansing. Kyanite is known to open the throat chakra and encourage self-expression and communication in our world and on the psychic plane. Also, it enhances hidden telepathic and psychic abilities. All right, Aquarius, at this time, you are... Okay, what I'm getting here is that you are feeling pretty burnt out right now. And you feel like, honestly, you feel like a tower moment is happening in your life. And for those of you who don't know what a tower moment is, that's when everything feels chaotic and like it's falling apart. And so you're really at this point where you're feeling like you're like gone through the ringer with somebody. You're like, I'm so tired of this. And this keeps happening, something keeps recurring. And we're going to get into your reading right now to really unpack that. So on your side, or this might be your person, the Four of Cups. So someone's feeling apathetic about something. And I do believe it's you. I do believe it's you, Aquarius. Take what resonates. I do believe you are tired of something happening. It is recurring, and you're just like very discontent with it. You it's almost as if you're like, yawn, this again. Like, I'm so tired of this happening. I'm bored. Not, that sounds really rude, but it's like, I'm so just like, this is boring and this is nerve-wracking and I hate it and I don't want to do this anymore. Let's see. This is clarified by the Queen of Cups. You want healing. You want healing. And there is an energy here that is, you keep butting heads with your person. The person on your mind has the Tower. This is a continual thing with them. It seems you continue to get, you think you've got progress and you reach a point where you're like, I thought we were past this. I didn't know this was going to come up again. But what is happening? What's the reason for this, Aquarius? Is because when the Tower falls, it is supposed to be embraced. And so what I believe is happening in your life is that you feel as if there's a Tower moment happening. You let the Tower fall, but what you're actually doing is compromise is necessary, but what you're actually doing is making yourself small. And you think the tower has been cleared and something new is being built, but what is being built is the same thing in its place over and over again, because the tower has not fallen for this other person. They've never had the chaos, because yes, sure, you guys might be in disharmony and maybe there's disagreements that go on, but they haven't had the chaos happen other than with you directly. And so this person's energy is clarified by the Knight of Wands. They are being rebellious because they know they can. Because they know they can. They are very free-spirited in the sense that they might believe that you're trying to be controlling in some way. And I just want to say that someone's mindset around, if they feel like they're being controlled or that their freedom is imposed upon in some way and that you're too controlling or you're whatever, their mindset will travel with them. That person will feel that way with anybody in any situation, because that is the mindset they hold around whatever they're not speaking on that they feel. I'm sure it's an indirect thing that they have said, or maybe they directly said it, but their actual underlying issue is not directly spoken. They may not even know it, but it's caused a lot of issues for you guys. I mean, in the past, you've got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So This is like overcoming things, some sort of recovery. There's forgiveness here, which is why I say I believe you've been through this with this person before. And let's see. The past energy that led to this is something that, it's a cycle. You're in a cycle. And you're tired of the cycle. The Knave of Pentacles here. So each time that this cycle would happen, you would get some sort of ambition, and you had goal. You were very goal oriented. You were loyal. You were loyal to this energy, and that is why you would forgive, and that is why you would continue. And in the energy right now, in the present, you've got the Four of Swords in reverse. So there's some sort of recovery that's needed. You're feeling burnt out. You're exhausted. You're awakening to the understanding of the cycle. And so let's clarify the Four of Swords in reverse. Clarify the Four of Swords in reverse for me, Spirit. The Wheel of Fortune. This is in your path of fate and destiny. And when the wheel spins, sometimes we end up at the bottom. But this too shall pass, meaning we will end up back at the top. When you're feeling low, you must keep in mind, this too shall pass. And then when you're also feeling really high and you got like everything you've wanted, you must also know that this too shall pass. Because that is the way of the world. Everything is in a cycle. It keeps going. Oh, I'm going backwards for you guys. It keeps going this way. It keeps going in a cycle. Now, cycles within a relationship, there's good cycles, there's bad cycles. It looks like you're in a negative cycle with somebody and it continues happening. So you have the power to break that, Aquarius. You have the power to break that. Your intuition is telling you to look at something. Your intuition over here is Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords. Your intuition's asking you to be honest. To be, how do you say? Perceptive. Look at yourself. Look at how you contribute to the cycle. Not to say you're the cause of it, but look at what your part in it is. You have to be fair and constructive. What is this cycle, and where do you operate? What parts of it do you respectively operate? What are your respective parts that you're operating? Your intuition's asking you to set boundaries. If you're going to continue with this person, you need to set boundaries and you need to uphold them. And this is clarified by the Moon. There's something that is not being seen here. There's some sort of illusion here. You may believe you're setting boundaries, but understand boundaries are not to restrict anybody or to control them or to take away. Boundaries are not limitations placed on other people. They are invitations to allow someone in within your own individual limits. And they do not seek to control, they seek to maintain. The difference between an emotional wall and a boundary is an emotional wall seeks to keep out in the name, under the guise of protection, but it is not protection, it is harmful. Boundaries are to invite in, and they do protect because they are setting boundaries. There are lines in the sand that can be negotiated and moved. But if you are too easy to move your boundaries or too quick to allow someone over that line in the sand without respecting you or without your consent to move the line, that is where it goes wrong. So what I'm getting here is that in your intuition, your intuition's telling you to look at your fears and your insecurities and understand that in which way are those things largely at play when it comes to you setting boundaries. And your challenge right now is the Three of Wands and the King of Spheres. So your challenge right now is that you are having trouble looking into the future and seeing security and safety and reliability with this person. That vision that you were once holding in your mind's eye is fading, and it is a challenge for you to continue seeing it. This is clarified by the Ten of Cups. So what you need to, if you do want to continue and you're willing to take this energy of looking at yourself and setting boundaries properly, and you want to continue with this person, you need to stop. The challenge is to stop thinking of the things you don't want and start thinking of the things you do want. The Ten of Cups here. The Ten of Cups is about happiness. It's about fulfillment. There's some sort of long-term commitment here. And so that's what you want to think about. And I'll let you in on a secret, Aquarius. You cannot think of that in the terms of like you're lacking something and you need it. So when you're thinking of something that you want, you cannot pull money out of a negative bank account, right? Okay, so you cannot manifest from a negative mind state. So if you are saying you need something because you're going to be sad without it, or that's not going to work. You need to align your inner intention with outer intention of the world. And so in what ways do you see this person as well as yourself benefiting? Start thinking about the things you do want. See their smile. See the happiness that can be co-created between the two of you in your mind's eye. View these things. And then furthermore, how will the two of you being together in harmony benefit the world around you? Maybe the support from each other will allow both of you to live to your fullest potential, and maybe you will excel in your career path, which will then turn to help others. You want to think of these things. Align your inner personal intention with the outer intention of the world and the betterment of the world. And when you can start to think in terms of that, when you're manifesting, that is a huge game changer. Okay, so a little bit of knowledge for y'all. Okay, so in your advice here, the 8 of Spheres, your advice is to use your skills and your expertise. If you're going to remain dedicated to this, you need to really be dedicated to it, Aquarius. So only you can choose if you're going to or not, but what you need to do is call upon your knowing and your truth and your expertise and the things you have learned along the way, and keep those in your tool belt to utilize. Okay? Responding instead of reacting. Do not allow your emotions to take over and you start reacting blindly to emotion. Respond to that. Notice, there's an awareness. And you are not your body and you are not your mind. You are consciousness. So step back in the awareness and observe your mind and your body as things are happening. Be aware. And then you can choose to respond accordingly instead of reacting blindly because you are not stepping back and observing and you are not aware of what is happening. You're just going on autopilot. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but this is my advice to you. So your advice is to use your skill sets, your mastery, in order to learn something. Also, in order to teach. Now, you don't want to point at this person and say, I need to teach you, but you will lead by example, is what your advice is. Strength. Call upon your inner strength. Your courage, confidence. Control yourself. You cannot control other people. Control yourself. Control your awareness. And focus on your goals in a positive light. You cannot take money out of a negative bank account. Remember, your person on your mind, their next move, how they're feeling, and what they are thinking. They've got the Knight of Wands here and the 7 of Wands. So this person, again, like I said, they are rebellious at this time. Something has caused them to be rebellious. And they are in an energy of protecting themselves and defending themselves. And this is because for some reason they feel like you're trying to control them and they feel overwhelmed. And that is why they are running on, look at that, Queen of Swords. So this is interesting. Because what they need to do is the same thing you need to do with the Queen of Swords with the moon here. They've got the Queen of Swords here. So the Queen of Swords is to be honest, to be perceptive. I'm getting more here that it also means independent, but what I'm getting more here is that they have a fear-based approach to independence and freedom, meaning they are afraid to be too vulnerable because it might mean the loss of their independence. And so it's a fear-based approach. And again, they are running on a program and they are trying to take positive amounts out of a negative balance. So they're not going to be successful in that either. They're just going to hurt themselves, hurt you. And this is their energy at this time. Can it shift? Can it change? Yes. Be the change you want to see, though, Aquarius. Be the change you want to see. You need to start leading by example and changing what you can, which is yourself. Change your expectations. Change the way you react. Change the way you respond to this person. Change the way you show up in the connection by setting boundaries. You can change all these things and watch it shift in front of you. You've got the Ten of Wands here, clarifying the Nine of Cups. So this is in your bias section. Your bias here, Nine of Cups. Are you sure you guys have the same desires? Because the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. And it's a wish come true. It's satisfaction and success. Do you guys have the same vision here? You and your person? Because the Ten of Wands here is telling me that you might be very stressed, and might be a struggle. You might be feeling, again, burnt out. And so have that conversation with this person. Make sure you guys are on the same page. Okay? Your guidance here is to be, is the Queen of Spheres. Your guidance here is to be generous with your grace. It's to be very sensible, to be nurturing. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. You know, take the moment to gather yourself and find your peace within. Step back and observe. Become awareness. You are consciousness. You are just awareness. You are not your body. You are not your mind. So step back and observe and ground yourself and really take a moment to move with intention. And when you can align your inner intention with your outer intention, that is when you can shift so much. That is the secret, honestly. And this is clarified by the Six of Swords in reverse. There's some sort of lesson here. Because the Six of Swords in reverse is something you're stuck on a past event or narrative, and you are it's troubling your mind at this time. You're feeling kind of trapped in this cycle. And here at the bottom, you've got the Hierophant. So if you're able to follow my guidance and really apply these concepts that I've spoken of here, what you don't see coming is the Ace of Wands and the Hierophant. That's beautiful. So minus all of what happens here, if you're able to just apply what I've been saying, that is when a new passion is born. There's some sort of enthusiastic new passionate energy. And the Hierophant here, deeper commitment, knowledge, some sort of some sort of truth coming into the light, and not sharing traditional values with somebody. I do believe your person. Okay? So, kyanite, again, very special stone that doesn't allow negativity in, and it doesn't need to be recharged. You are an endless well, Aquarius. You are an endless well. There's nothing to lose. You are an endless well. You need to maintain yourself, by setting boundaries, by showing up in the way that your intentions are aligned with your behavior, and by leading by example. But your awareness is what allows in the outside world, and you're just simply your awareness. And then you allow these things to affect you in certain ways. When you can become just awareness and see that you are an endless well that never needs to be recharged. I know your body needs to be recharged. What I'm saying though is within you, your energies, you don't run out of these things. You don't run out of love. You don't run out of grace. You don't run out of these things. They always exist within you. When you can do that and not allow any negativity in as well, you become so powerful. And so I'm going to get some energy cards here to close out the reading for you, Aquarius. Let's see. Movement. If you want this to move from the energy it's in at this time, you need to be the change that you want to see. And so you need to make, you can't wait around for somebody else to do it. So if you're asking this person to change, that's not going to work. Either you can change the way you show up, the way you let things affect you, you can change your expectations, you can change your boundaries, you can do all of that, but you cannot ask someone. You can talk to them and say, here's what I want, here's my needs. But after that, that's really all you can do. Determination. You are determined. So if you're so, Aquarius, you're so determined, why? Okay, so please apply the things I'm saying as best you can, because you are very determined. And I'm curious to know if it works for you. So please apply it and see. Just believe me. Mystery. You may be like, well, Maddie, this is, I've tried everything. Have you tried the things I've said? Embrace the mystery. Embrace it. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to know all the answers. The universe is not even done expanding and figuring itself out. It has not even experienced or learned all of itself. There is constantly change and things happening, and new parts of it are born. It's still expanding. So how could you possibly know everything? You can't. So embrace mystery. Embrace not knowing. You don't need to know. Just what you do need to do is align your inner intention with outer intention and go with the flow. And sadness. You do need to address these feelings within you, because if you're just focusing on positive things and pushing the sad and negative things to the side, that is not actually any way to process anything. That's just called toxic positivity. So you do need to witness, not identify. Witness, observe, awareness around these things. How is it affecting you? What role is sadness playing in your life? Where do you see it coming out? Oh, sorry. Where do you see it coming out? Where do you see it leaking into other things? Where do you see yourself subconsciously manifesting something due to a lingering sadness? What do you need to address that sadness? Have you asked for it directly? Are you speaking on these things? Or are you pushing them to the side and distracting yourself with toxic positivity? Once you can address these things and then move into a space of understanding you can change them and then focus on positivity, that's real change. That's real positivity. You're not ignoring something, saying, no, I want to pretend like it doesn't exist, and then just pretending to be positive. That sadness is still lingering there. So become aware of it. Observe it. Passion. Look at that again. You want passion back into the connection. Well, I think if you can apply everything that I've said here, you'll find that it puts you in a position to create that with this person. And if they're not willing to show up and do that with you, if you have correctly applied everything I've said, well, that won't really matter at that point anyway, Aquarius. So that is all I have for you today. and I really hope it helped. Thank you.
Feel like we've reached a crossroads. Ooh, don't you hate them ultimatums? But we need a revelation to save us. Stuck in the moment, it seems. The more I think, the more I don't know. I'm looking for a sign. Where's your devotion?